So if you are someone like me who do not like to take favors, this is the principle that you should follow. I was at a college named as DVR and Dr. H.S. Mick College of Technology. I think for about 42 kilometers I was standing until the city came, Vijayawada city came, and dude, you're here because of me. Don't teach me what is wrong and what is right. If you take 100 rupees in your bad time from someone and tomorrow you become a millionaire. Back to the second episode of WDTalks. This is a series where I share about those things, situations, people, incidents, circumstances that helped me become who I am today. And I feel by sharing experiences like these with you via this medium, I think it may benefit some of you as well. Now, today's episode is about not taking favors. Why you should not take favors from anybody. When I say favors, favors could be a job reference, especially for my students who are watching me. You should not take job references. You should not take help from anybody. Or if for those who are working somewhere and you got somebody, saying that if you want me to help you get promoted, I can do that because you're my friend. Or it could be any situation where you can get that favor from your good source. Do not take it. And let me share a real incident which happened with me in 2018, and prior to that has made me determined of not taking any favors, even if it can help me exponentially in my business. So let me talk about the two experiences, one pertaining to 2018 and another I think in 2011 or 2012. I think 2012. Now in 2018 I was this was in the month of October or early September, not very sure. It could be last week of September and the first week of October, somewhere down there. Now, I was at a college named as DVR and Dr. H.S. Mick College of Technology, which is near to Vijayawada. To be precise, it is 48 kilometers from Vijayawada in a place called as Kanchike Cherla. Now, I'm sure most of you must be watching from there. And those who happen to witness this incident, do let me know in the comments if you are watching this and do you remember something of this happening, something like this happening. Now, it was my Tiger session there in two batches. One session is of 3 days. So obviously I was there for 6 days. And my hotel was located in the heart of the city, somewhere on the MG road. I think it was Hotel Sashi. It was OYO basically, booked by the institute itself. Early morning, I think I used to wake up around 6 o'clock or 5:30 something. Breakfast was provided by the hotel around 7. But then the college bus, the AC bus, which used to pick up the college professors and everything, it used to come exactly at 7:10. So I never used to have my breakfast at the hotel. So every morning for those 6 days, I used to wake up around 5:30 or 6, get ready and step out of the hotel at 7, wait for the bus, and by 7:10 I used to be in the bus. It was an AC bus right from my hotel till the campus, 48 kilometers from Vijayawada. Now in the evening, I was required to take the same bus back to the hotel, which used to drop back those professors, the way it picked them up in the morning. But then students who are watching there today from Mick College who have attended my session, they know my training used to get completed by 6. And those students, that particular batch, never used to miss their bus because the bus guy also had to, wait till the time I complete the training. But then I'm talking about the bus for these students, not the bus which was for the professors, that AC bus. It never used to wait, and obviously it won't because it has got other more important people than me from the campus. So it never used to wait. And it used to leave on time. I think by 5:10 it used to depart from the campus towards Vijayawada. Now most of the time, out of the 6 days, I think about 4 or 5 times I used to get benefited by the principal. And the principal of that college, I think his name I don't remember, but I don't remember. I can recognize by his face but not his name. So he used to drop me in his personal vehicle. He had a duster, I remember very well. He used to drop me in his duster all the way till on this day, that is, I think one of the 6 days where I could not, get that AC bus as usual, and the principal sir, I think he had left early, or maybe he was leaving too late, and the only option left for me was to go with the students who were part of my training. Obviously these were the last set of students to leave the campus, so for them that bus was still there. So the training placement coordinator, there were two guys who came in and they were like, sir, I think sir has left or sir is leaving too late. We suggest you to go by this bus, otherwise you will not find transport, because obviously taxi or rickshaw would be a little difficult all the way to Vijayawada, going solo. So I said, okay, no issues. Now the moment I got inside the bus, I remember they were the same students who I trained. It was, I think, the second or third day, and they were very happy that I was in their bus. I was equally happy as well, until I realized that there was no space left. There was no empty seat where I could occupy and, give rest to myself. Now, all of my students who have, seen me or participated into my training of 3 days, they know I do not sit even for 1 minute in my training sessions unless and until it is some sort of a HR mock interview or a role play that we are doing. Otherwise, I'm always standing. So there was no space, and the coordinator, they came in and they requested a few students to get up and let me sit. I told them, don't do that. Because I believe, my training does not just start inside the classroom. My training begins outside the classroom and it continues inside the classroom, and then it continues thereafter outside the classroom as well. What I do outside the classroom is also very important for my students to know. If they're watching me, do something, they should learn something out of it. And I told those coordinators not to do that. Do not ask anybody to get up. It's fine, that's totally fine. I'm gonna stand and wait till the seat become available. Now they said, no sir, it is too far. It is about 48 kilometers. It may take an hour or half, and then you would get tired. You're already you're already standing in the training. I was like, no, don't do that. There were a few students I remember who stood up. I think even Amrit was there. If you're watching, let me in the comments. He stood up and he's like, hey buddy, you sit on my seat. I'm totally fine. It's okay. I'll manage. I was like, no, don't do that. That's fine. I will stand. I also remember there was one professor. I don't know him. He was not a connection to me, but then I knew he was a professor and he was also there. He saw me too, and I think the only person who should have got up must have been this professor, because I was a guest for them, the institute, not the student. For the students, I am a trainer. I have been called to train them, but I am the guest for the campus people, the institute people, and I thought if this guy gets up to offer me his seat, I'm gonna take it. But then eventually he did not, hospitality. So that's totally fine. Maybe he must have had his own issues. You never know about what that person is going through. Maybe he has arthritis. You never know. But I'm just telling, if I were to be offered a seat, it should have been that guy, because I'm the guest for him. Nevertheless, I made myself comfortable standing right behind the driver. And I think I made a story as well. If possible, if I can edit this somewhere, I'll add that story, or maybe in the end that you can watch it. That'll become easy for me to, not edit and just upload it as raw as it is. Now, while I was standing, the bus was going through the rough patches, and obviously, the next to me, there was a seat and there was a girl sitting, and I feel embarrassed that I was bumping into her accidentally and I was, making her uncomfortable. So yeah, those things happened, but I did not take a seat which was offered to me. I could have just taken it up, showing my power or authority, or the tag that I am an outsider and I'm your trainer. I should be offered a seat, and you're a student, you get up, let me sit. I didn't do that. I think for about 42 kilometers I was standing until the city came, Vijayawada city came, and then few students started getting off the bus. And when that happened, that's when I get to sit. That's where I sat down. Now, the example which I tried setting up there, and now I'm trying to share this through my video, do not misuse your power. I would have never forgiven myself if I would have made any student get up. He would have, that student, he or she would not have had any problems getting up. He would have loved to offer me a seat, and obviously he would be like, I'm more than happy to offer you a seat. So if you're someone like me who do not like to take favors, This is the principle that you should follow. I was at a college named as DVR and Dr. HS Mick College of Technology. I think for about 42 kilometers I was standing until the city came, Vijayawada city came, and dude, you're here because of me. Don't teach me what is wrong and what is right. But no, I wouldn't have forgiven myself for letting that happen, making that student stand up or, share a seat, 3 people on a 2 people bench. So that's what happened. So what I tried setting there was that you should not misuse your power or authority and wait for your fucking turn. Let time get you what you want. That's number 1. Now, second incident which made me determined for who I am today with this kind of an attitude that I don't want favors is an incident which is from 2011 or 2012. I was working in an organization, name not required, but it's there on my LinkedIn. I worked there for about 4 years, 11 months. Now, why am I being precise for 4 years, 11 months is because if I would have just completed 1 more month, I would have completed a total of 5 years. And for completing that, if I would have resigned and left anytime after 5 years, I would have got an additional amount along with my provident fund known as gratuity. But 4 years, 11 months is all I worked there, and then I decided to quit. The reason being, my last boss who was there, her name will change her name to Ria. So Ria had joined this organization where I was working already for 4 years, and then she happened to be my boss for the last 11 months. And she really liked my work, my attitude, the way I used to work, execute the task, be there in the office, and all that, what it means to work hard in an office. When she left, she happened to go for a better opportunity, but the industry was different. And she happened to give me an offer. She told me that, Vicky, one of the girl has already joined in, and if you can join in, that'll be great, because I want somebody like you in this office to become part of my team. If you accept the offer, you will be reporting into me, and whatever you've been paid there, I would instantly offer you 100% hike. I'll not tell the exact amount, but yeah, it was 100% hike. And then back then, my expenses were like increasing because of personal reasons, and I was like, okay, if I get 100% hike, I'm not gonna reveal this at home. I'm gonna tell them. I'm going to give them the same amount that I've been giving, and I'll keep the rest for myself, that extra hike, and use it for personal purposes. I left the organization in 4 years, 11 months with a proper 1 month notice, and joined her team in the new office, new organization, along with the other girl who happened to get selected by her. And then work was going good, and I worked in this organization, this organization with her for 5 months, because in the first 4 months, situations which took place, the circumstances which took place, they were pretty bad, and it kind of changed the whole tuning or the whole rapport with the boss Ria, and then she started hating me, and she started becoming angry for the things which I was doing, which were not in her favor. And I used to tell her that, what you're doing is not the right way, and you're doing it in a improper manner. So she didn't kind of like it. And that was the reason she was like, once she said this on a telecall to me, she was like, dude, you're here because of me. Don't teach me what is wrong and what is right. Now, the moment I heard those words, I felt really disgusted, because it was the truth. I didn't have to give any sort of an interview or a round. She wanted me on my merit. I happened to just directly join without an interview. And that was true, that I got this offer because of her. Of course, with a 100% hike. But then, if I would have, applied like a normal, prospective employee, gone through those interview processes, 3-4 rounds, 5 rounds, cleared it, maybe I would have had something to give back to her. But I could not. I was not able to, because that what she said was true. That I was there in that organization because of her, and that kind of hit me really hard. And the lesson that I learned was, if you take favor from someone, you will always be in debt, DEBT, debt of that favor. If you take 100 rupees in your bad time from someone, and tomorrow you become a millionaire, that one person is always going to say, dude, he become a millionaire, but once I helped him with that fucking 100 rupees, he used to borrow money from me. And that feeling of someone counting the favors that you got from them is disgusting. That is what I learned from my life, that never take favors. There are friends in my circle who work in institutes and corporates, and they be like, Vicky, do you want a project? Do you want me to talk to my principal? Do you want me to talk to this institute? And I tell them always, don't do it. If I want to get there in this particular institute, I'll find a way myself. I'll probably send a proposal. I'll get them on call, make a cold call. That'll be fine. But I don't want favors. The only favor that you can do is let that person know that you know me and who am I. If they are really willing to have me on board, let them talk to me, let them interview me. In fact, one recent example also I'll give, though it is irrelevant, but it is about the same principle which I applied here. When one of my trainee and a friend, Afreen, who became viral through that video, my close ones, they were like, Vicky, now that's good, your friend has become viral, she has got so many followers, why don't you ask her to reshare your story or something that you're doing, probably any CV making thing or whatever. I told them the same thing, dude, she's got famous, that's good. If I want to reach out to masses, let me do it on my own merit, because even though she's my good friend, but if I take a favor, it will always be there somewhere in the subconscious mind of mine, if not even hers. I know she's not that kind of person, but I am like that. So do not seek favors, do not take favors, work your own way. It's totally fine to go hungry. It's totally fine to wait a little longer than to have it through a reference or by a favor or asking somebody to get it done for you. So if you're someone like me who do not like to take favors, this is the principle that you should follow. Hope you like the video. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.